What are useless jobs that pay a lot? Mine. IT strategist. I explain to executives that many of their current problems are the result of not listening to my previous advice. Then I give them fresh new advice that they will ignore. Rinse and repeat. Real estate agents. Especially for multi-million-dollar homes. A lawyer can write up the contract and have both people sign, and you won't pay $3,600 for it. I'm a senior project manager for the largest renewables company in the USA, and I have to tell you, I do maybe like 10 real work hours a week. I hate my job, and the people I work with, but I got handcuffs for 3 years, paid for me to move to SF, and monster signing bonus. I make less than 200 and more than 150, have pretty much zero responsibility for anything that goes wrong or well. Directors take the fall at a company of this size. One of my buddies just sits in a server room, and sometimes a server starts to beep because it turned off. He goes and pushes the button to turn it back on, and goes back to playing video games. Car dealerships. They are basically an artificial choke point between you and the company that actually makes the product you want. God knows Elon Musk is problematic in a lot of ways, but I fully support his vision to make direct-to-customer sales the industry standard. BMW turn signal installer. The middlemen between the drug companies and hospitals' pharmacies. Influencers. Security. I was making $25 an hour to do literally nothing, and in case something did happen we were instructed to just call the police. Manager. I feel like I'm getting paid too much for what I do. My team members work a lot harder and get paid less. What is it that the Kardashians do? You cannot convince me that it's not pointless. I mean, I moan on a microphone just so that some drawings of naked people can have a voice. How is that useful to society? I have no idea. Do I like my job? Fuck yes, I make more than 2 times the salary of my high school teachers who told me that leaving school was a bad idea. Don't know if it's useless, but you can earn $100K a year cleaning toilets in Australia if you do it on a mine site. Fortune tellers. Influencers, I would probably say. They aren't useless, but the job itself seems pretty useless, so I guess they are useless. A hospital board member. Influencers, whatever the Tate brothers do, politicians hire. Stockbroker edit. Not all brokers are bad. Hedge fund manager. Almost no one has ever outpaced a diversified broad-spectrum index fund consistently over a period of time longer than like 10 years. Check out the book A Random Walk Down Wall Street. It gets into how unlikely it is that a managed fund would be worth the fees commissions of the brokers. The guy that holds your dick while you piss. It's why I like to piss at home. I can hold my own dick. Consultants. How can PPL consult as soon as they leave uni? Quarterback for MN Vikings. Most HR positions. I feel as though many corporations could eliminate 90 of their HR department. The only noticeable difference would be a reduction in pointless emails. Realtor. Vice President. You make $200,000 and your main job duty is to not die. UK real estate agents. I feel like most of these answers misunderstand the word useless. Almost any HR job. Too much redundancy and unnecessary personnel. The ones that actually do the work suffer. Parking enforcement officer. In my city they make $80K a year. Consultant, getting paid 4 figures a day to fly around the world to tell people what they could research online. Being the boss's nephew, son, whatever. There's always that one guy, who has some nonsense title, doesn't do much, but is related to management so is left to do whatever, collect the check. Should read bullshit jobs for David Graeber. He contends that over half of societal jobs are pointless. Influencer. Well, if you ever watch House Hunters, you'll see couples who have jobs like a butterfly therapist and a used spoon trader who say their budget is like $1.30 million. Politicians. This should have been not safe for work. Dildo tester. 70% of tech jobs are useless and pay a lot, although the industry's bleeding ATM, so maybe less true as time goes on. Real estate agents. Stock trader. Adds nothing to society, creates nothing, yet can make absolute bank. Real estate agents. Yes, they offer a service, and yes, it's beneficial, but the paycheck they get for selling a single home can be staggering, and likely close to a full year's salary for some people. Good agents will sell 10 or more homes in a year and can make an absolutely ludicrous amount of money for filling out a few forms. I'll bet you that the right house in a hot market could earn an agent close to $50,000 for a few hours' work. Pro footballer. They had ever stopped a credible threat, we wouldn't stop hearing about it. The CrossFit of security. Professional snuggler. Yes, it's a thing. They come to your house and spoon with you. I've been scrolling for a while, and there are lots of good answers here, but I have to say CEO. Every experience I have with them makes me convinced that companies function in spite of CEOs, not because of them. Life coaches. Now, not all of them technically make a lot of money, but a friend of a friend is a life coach and she literally just reposts motivational quotes and pictures of herself on a beach somewhere exotic. Whatever she gets paid, it lets her keep a cushy apartment in NYC and travel abroad several times a year. CEOs. Paid an insane amount of money for not doing anything productive or useful. Professional athlete. Politician. And you can still get yourself a second, third useless, well-paying job. Administrative assistant. I did that during the pandemic since my usual job laid me off for all work sites shutting down. I was busy for all of 2 hours of an 8-hour day. Spent the rest of the day browsing the internet and shopping online. LOL. Influencers. Professional athletes. There are no useless jobs. If you found someone to pay for your services, you are needed in one way or another. Politician. Minus coordinator on television sets. You get paid to start a timer and warn people when the timer's gonna run out. Influencer. Influencer. OnlyFans. DEI administrators. Anything in finance. Anything about marketing. HR. Although not fully useless, I think house sitting is one. I understand the reason, but if you're rich enough to have a theft risk type house, then you can afford a good security system. Just don't post everything on social media and you should be good. Online influencers. Most marketing jobs. Valet. 100 luxury service, then absolutely no one really needs done for them. There are places where the valets make 6 figures for a job that requires 0 skills, and about an hour of training. I'm a lead manufacturing engineer. 5 hours of my 8.5-hour shift consist of Reddit or YouTube with subtitles. £60,000 ISH. That one old British job to wake people up in the morning by tapping on their windows with a large stick. Athletes. Landlord. Depending on if you own half the neighborhood. OnlyFans. Management consultant, my former profession. I would say being an employee of Twitter, but Elon Musk fired most of its employees and it's now called X apparently. Toll booth operators. They push a button and you give between $4 to $12. High-end retail staff that are commission-based. Politician. Whomever voted, they can change my life. OnlyFans. Most lead positions or supervisor positions in factories like the ones I've worked at. Some pay upwards of $25 to $30 an hour to walk around and do basically nothing. I think the only time I saw a supervisor work at my last job was when OSHA showed up for a walkthrough. CEO. Politicians, especially the stock trading. Agile coach, fuck agile coaches. CEOs. Real estate agents. Currently a lot of the politicians. Member of Congress.